actually just saw a coyote right back here where them cattle are at. Actually, I saw it from the truck that saw me, but it wasn't nervous, just stood around and eventually trotted off. I just sat there and watched it. And right up there where it was at, on top of that ridge, is actually where I was going to go call from. So, I give him just a minute. Got a good crosswind going back that way. So hopefully I can pull it right back out that ridge out in front of me. We'll get another coyote down. Stay tuned. As always, I've got cattle moving through to check me out. But hey, that's what I hunt's cattle country, so you better be used to it, right? See if we can't kill someone here. Cattle been running laps, doing plenty of circles. I'm gonna start throwing some pup sounds out here. I threw a little rabbit out there, just a couple short bursts, and just maybe 3 minutes worth. Nothing, so I'm gonna start throwing some nutty nut pup out there, see what happens. Whew. That was our coyote there. Couldn't take it. Had to come back around the corner and check things out. It just goes to show you, just because you see a coyote out in the field as you're making your way in doesn't mean it's always over when that coyote takes off. Now, I didn't film this coyote so you guys can see its reaction, but what happened is I was actually driving in. My truck's actually just parked right over top of the hill right here. I seen this coyote out. I just stopped, shut the truck off, grabbed my binoculars, and got to watching it. It trot off, turned around and looked, and moused around a little bit, and looked back up at me, trot off, and just kept doing that, and finally got up top of the hill and looked around and dropped over. So I knew he wasn't too bad nervous. He couldn't smell me. So I backed the truck up, got it hid, got right up here, got set up. We got the coyote down. All right, let's go check our coyote out. First, I'll show you my little setup. Walk right out here to the call. We're running the X24 this morning, as I have been about all summer and all fall, which of course it's November now. Nice frosty morning, but right there's the call. I was just set up right there at that electric pole there, right out in the middle of this big, about a 50-acre pasture field that wraps around, got little ridges that run out at stuff, and right down there's a coyote right there in the head of that. He come wrapping right back around that corner. And on this hillside right here is where I seen the coyote when I was coming in. I seen him right down here in this bowl and on this hillside. And you know, like I said earlier, just let him get out of sight. He wasn't too bad nervous, so I just come up here and tried him. And I'm thinking this is going to be a absolute gorgeous coyote, because I was watching him through the binoculars. He was kind of creamish red colored coyote, and I'm pretty sure he's a 2-pointer. I think he's got a white tipped tail, so go up there and check him out. Right here he is, or she, I don't know, just as I suspected. It was a pretty coyote right there. So I expected a 2-pointer. And what we always say, 2-pointer, just so you know, got a little white tip on her tail. Ain't that pretty? There's a pretty coyote, female. And she might be pretty, but she stinks. She's been sprayed by a skunk, smells like. But man, I'm pumped to get another one. Can't hardly beat it. This is the first week of November. Actually the first stand I've made in November, and it was a success. Whoo-wee, it is cool out this morning, about 23 degrees right here in central Kentucky. It's the first week of November. As you can see, we got some frost on the ground. Didn't no deer hunters to film this morning, so you can't pass up a morning like this for coyote calling. Come out here, been self-filming. Actually seen a coyote when I come back in, as I've mentioned earlier. Decided to go ahead and get set up. Had a perfect crosswind that was blowing from right to left. Had a bunch of cattle out in the field that was stirring around. Started the standoff with young coyote howls. Actually run 5 of those howls. Waited probably a minute and a half to 2 minutes, then played maybe 2 little series of Mrs. McCottontail. Run those for maybe just 20 to 30 seconds a piece. Didn't run much of it at all. And then ended up playing short burst of Nutty Nut Pup. And you'll probably notice on the last few videos, these coyotes have been coming out while there's no sound playing. I haven't been letting my call just eat as much this fall as I usually do. Usually I'll turn the sound on and just let it roar, ramping my volume up and down. But I've been running about 25 to 30 on the volume on this 624, and just running short series of 15, 20, 25 seconds of different pup distresses, and then shutting it off for about the same amount of time. And man, it's been working. This coyote come out right on a pause right after shutting off Nutty Nut Pup. Just let it do its own thing. It got down there, got to looking around, looking for the coyote up here in the pasture field. I settled in here on the coyote, put a shot in it. Beautiful coyote down right here in central Kentucky. Thanks for joining us on Tooth and Claw TV.